Woodward, we are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Ohio State, you choking dogs. You were 20-point favorites at home and you still couldn't win. Ryan Day, pack your fucking bags. You are going on the unemployment line. You choking, soft-ass bitches, Ohio State. You just love to see it. And you know what? Shout out to this Michigan defense. One of the greatest performances by a Michigan defense I have ever seen. Ohio State is not beating the soft allegations. And you know what, Michigan? This is a nice feather in your cap for an otherwise disappointing season. You beat Ohio State as 24-point underdogs on the road. Fuck Ohio State, you pussy-ass bums.
Don't act like y'all don't know. Don't act like y'all don't know. Why I gotta keep talking to people, bro? Why I gotta keep talking to people, dog? Ryan Day, you suck, dog. You fucking suck, bro. It's up for life, Ohio State, for life. Y'all choked it off at home, though. That is crazy, bro. Y'all can't tell me my man's ain't about to get fired, man. Y'all can't tell me that. Hey, shout out Sherrone more, dog. They kept hating on you all year, bro, but you showed up when it mattered, dog. You showed up when it mattered, bro. I can't wait for you to get Bryce Underwood next year, and let's see what it look like, bro. But, hey, Wink Martindale got to give him credit, too, man. You coached a hell of a game, bro. But what is they talking about? Fuck Ohio State for life, dog.
No, you want to run things here?
No, not at all.
Huh? You want to be daddy? Is that it? Number two, you want to wear the daddy pants? Huh? You going to cry? You going to cry?
So.
Huh? You going to cry? You going to cry?
No!
Huh?
What are you?
Huh? You're going to squirt some? You going to cry? Huh? Yeah, see, you're going to cry, huh? You're a big man now, huh? Yeah, thought so.
What up, though, people? What up, though? Thank you guys for kicking off the day with Wake Up Woodward, man. What a weekend. What a holiday season, man. Woo!
Oh, man.
Michigan slays Ohio State in their own home.
Oh, my goodness.
How does it just, Flannel Sam, your boy Brandon J.K., Detroit Kool-Aid, it's Wake Up Woodward Chat family. Y'all are the most important part of this thing normally. But Michigan beat Ohio State. We love y'all. Let's smash that like button, run these likes up, man. We got to jump right into this. Flannel, I am elated, bro.
Oh, my goodness. Guys,
I'm about to grow my shadow beard back.
Ohio State held Michigan to 13 points. They held Davis Warren to 62 passing yards and 2 interceptions, and they still couldn't win. And they were 20-plus point favorites at home.
They had them boys shook. On offense, it was like they were seeing ghosts, man. I don't even, you know what? Because Chase was saying something, before, and he was like, you know what? You're on the line. And it was like, I never thought they were going to get blown out. But what changed for me is where I believed, you know what? They do got things that they're playing for. That's when we said, you know what? They have an opportunity to put Ryan Day on the hot seat. These rivalries are something that special things happen, no matter where they're ranked. And then you see them go in there and all of the narratives play themselves out. This is what I do know. When you talk about Michigan men and the things that you have to have, when you know you're going to have one of those kind of in-the-toilet seasons, which is not what any of us expected or wanted, the one thing you got to do with all hellish ambition is beat Michigan State and beat Ohio State. Did I want better this year? Hell yes. But after a national championship, you talking about 4 years in a row for Ohio State? You talking about pushing Ryan Day that much closer to the hot seat? Bro, I'm telling you, I don't know any other way this could have gone after the start to the season. But this has completely changed everything for me. You talking about program builder. Think about it, because it's not just this victory. I think we got to go to Ryan Ermanni. There's another victory as well. Ryan Ermanni, I think he's live with a special guest for us. JB,
just a blessing, honestly. You know, just God. Thank God for all of this. So, sir.
Exactly. Bryce Underwood, what another big win. And then the trends with the coaching, seeing things get better with the game plan. Those are things that make me this ecstatic, man. I started the season with extreme expectation, wavered a little bit in the middle based on their production, and then you talk about a victory over Ohio State, victory over Michigan State, Bryce Underwood. Oh yeah, I'm fired up.
Well,
I'm fired up. Let's go.
Well, that's the thing. Everybody knows, and yes, I'm visor guy today. I look like fucking Kirby Smart, but the Michigan version. But that's neither here nor there. This is a great day. But here's the reality. I would have taken this 2-year stretch followed by getting Bryce Underwood any day of the week. I understand for people who are going to say that we're celebrating like we won the national championship or something. I get it. We didn't. It was still a 7-5 season. Moving forward, 7-5 seasons are not acceptable. However, in 2023, they win the national championship. In 2024, Michigan goes 7-5, but defeats the rivals that they should have beaten, Michigan State, first at home, and then upsets Ohio State as 20-point underdogs, hopefully pushing Ryan Day out the door in the process. And while we're at it, getting the #1 recruit in the effing country and seeming to commit more to NIL. The present, as far as this whole season goes, was not as bright as a lot of us expected, but the present in terms of beating Ohio State and the future, everything looks like it's coming up roses for Michigan right now. I mean, obviously they got to deliver on it moving forward, but this was Saturday was such a great day,
They have
man.
to deliver on it moving forward. And I remember some of the conversation we had prior, and I know we're going to get into Sherrone more in later segments of this thing. But one of the things that we were talking about with KG as well is, yeah, you got to give him extra time. You got to give him at least the opportunity to have his recruits here, to put his system in place, coming off of losing so much talent to the NFL. And to see him do this with, important players injured, important players waiting it out for the NFL draft, like Will Johnson, who I respect the decision. I respect the fact that he did this well ahead of time so that the Wolverines could prepare for the back half of this schedule and everything. And so it's like thinking about everything they faced. So you're down personnel, and your coordinators are facing all types of scrutiny to the point that midseason, all of us were saying, hey, both of those guys can kick rocks. As you saw things go on, we saw them without a competent quarterback still scheme up enough offense against the rivals to get something done. And then you see the defense go to a completely different level. Because I'm going to throw Northwestern in there. Even though I expect them to win, the curb stomped in the way they did, that's what kind of prompted some of the conversation in our last show. When we were previewing this is, hey, you know what? Was there some things in that Northwestern game that you saw? And that's what we all say, you know what? As it at least relates to Martindale, there are definitely some good trends here. They've improved as the season went on, and the program got better as well. Those are check marks for me. So it's not about celebrating like we won a national championship this year. But what did I say before? Am I going to stay consistent? This is all about, can Sherrone Moore, and I said this before the season started, can he prove to me that he is a program builder? I told you guys, I believe in his coaching acumen. I really do. I'm not going to question that. You look into his history, you recognize this guy has had a hand in a lot of good college football players in this state. So it's like, I'm not going to question that. But in college football, it's much different. And towards the last 3, 4, 5 games of this season, as well as when you mix in the recruiting, as well as beating those rivals, man, those dreaded rivals like the Buckeyes, that's where I'm celebrating. Like, you know what? Cool. I got the check marks that I wanted to see out of the season, despite us not meeting the expectation from a win total.
Sure, and that's what beating your rivals is all about. That's what getting the #1 recruit is all about. That's what committing more to NIL is all about. That's what improving as the year goes on is all about. And we've seen that with one coordinator in particular, more on him later. And I think you also saw it with Sherrone Moore. More on him in a little bit, but one coach puckered and the other coach at least did his job, which we absolutely love to see. And oh, by the way, because you mentioned it at the beginning, the fact that Michigan did this too with two of their 4 best players not playing in that game, it's so embarrassing for Ohio State. And I get it. Ohio State, you had 2 of your best offensive linemen out, and it clearly affected them. I get it. But we're talking about Will Johnson and Colston Loveland not playing, so you all can STFU if you want to give injury excuses. And by the way, shout out to those guys as well, Colston Loveland and Will Johnson. I know they didn't play in this game. I know that some Michigan fans were a little bit upset with Will Johnson because it seems like he's prioritizing his NFL future over playing in these games in a disappointing season. But to that, I say, fine. You know what I liked when it comes to Will Johnson? The interception in the Natty. I like the interception in the Ohio State game last year. I like the fact that he is going to be either the first or second cornerback drafted off of the board.
You said it best. All anyone should be doing if you're a supporter of University of Michigan is saying, thank you, Will Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. You talk about not just what they did on the field, and then you go to the fact that when they win that type of way, Big Ten championships, beating your rivals, and giving you a national championship, then all of the other lore that they brought to this thing, it goes into those memories forever. Those turnover buffs are going to be something that lives forever, and he brought that culture. It helped to inspire this team. And you saw this defense get super nasty. I remember going to some of those Ohio State games over the last 4 years where people said, no, there's no way y'all can stay with their offense. But the problem is when you got dogs and when you hear them start to use the words, I heard you, Sherrone. I heard you use the word gritty. Honestly, you can't say, you know what, that's cheesy, y'all are biting when you see them out there actually playing gritty. And that's why I saw this team. We all knew what they were offensively walking into that game. But who knew that they could make Will Howard look just like that as well? That's where it's just like, wow. This defense really went out there and stood on their head times 2. And they got this dub over Ohio State in their own victory, and they deserve to plant that flag.
They deserve to plant that flag. KG.
Don't say that too loudly.
My dog.
Some people are a little upset about that.
Talk your shit for a couple minutes.
Hey, I heard y'all motherfuckers yelling from the kitchen, dog. Y'all was loud, dog, when the show started. You got the Bourbon Hair Rose girls wondering what the hell's going on in here. But man, shout out to the Michigan Wolverines, bro. What a win. And for people that want to hate on us today and want to take our pride, y'all can suck it, bro. Yeah, we celebrate like it's a national championship. You damn right. This is our national championship this year. We kept Ohio State possibly out of the Big Ten championship. We exposed the fraud that is Ryan Day. He's horrible.
Fraud alert.
Get him out of there.
Fraud alert.
He's horrible. And listen, man, I just can't speak to the job that Sherrone Moore did in this game, man. This was his best coach game so far, bro. And it gives me so much optimism for the future. Even Wink Martindale, bro, like I got to give him a ton of credit the way he coached this game. Some of your guys on defense stepped up, bro. You had Mason Graham out there, Makari Page, man, Jay Sean Barham, man. It was a lot of people out there making plays, man. And it was just great to see, bro. It was a defensive battle. We knew it was going to be a battle, but you came out on the other side of it, bro, and you proved that, you know, with the right talent in here, bro, this shit can change in 1 year.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm not questioning his coaching acumen. You will not hear me ever do that. If you know him, then you get that. The program, it looks like he definitely has us going the right way. I know there were some rumors that, you know, he and Martindale were on with Mentor and Harbaugh. Whether it's true or not, if it is true, that's program building. We're talking about what connections do you have to the NFL to make sure that this program continues to be forward-thinking and progressively for your players. Because the connections to the NFL, and I heard Harbaugh talk about this one time, he was like, no, there's business opportunities out there as well. You want these types of relationships. So it's like you're offering things to your student athletes in an era of NIL, which they're going to play in. But if you continue to show, we in this era still have that edge, I think that goes a long way. And, hey, JB, man, shout out to my pops. Over the holidays, man, it was not a good holiday season, but I know this one definitely picked him up. We did have a loss in the family, his sister, so I want to definitely keep them in prayer. And got into a pretty bad accident when they were preparing to get here at home. So, but I know one thing that made him excited. Man, this is a throwback picture. Hey. My dad, Kid Kool-Aid, and myself when I had hair, you know. So, right? But shout out, man. You know, my dad, he's ecstatic with the Ohio State win, the win over Ohio State. Yeah. And I just wanted to be able to say shout out to you, Pops, man. This was huge. Like, Ohio State, Michigan games in general. Like, even with us, I got to show you what a hair is now. But even with us, you know, because we refrain from certain activities during the Sabbath hours. But we would DVR the ones we could and catch every night game we could. He would throw it up on the TV, and that would be how when Jeremiah and I, that's how he got into Michigan football. And so it was dope, man. So shout out to you, Pops. Shout out to everybody else, man. Go Blue fans. And I know, JB, you made some people some money, huh?
Oh, I definitely made some people some money, especially with the early afternoon, games that were going on as well too. I told everyone take the points with Michigan, and some people, I had a lot of people sitting here saying that, oh, Ohio State is just about to kill Michigan, 20 points. Everyone's like, oh no, Ohio State is so dominant this year. You know what? Look what happened. I said if you could hold them off until the fourth quarter, make it a close game, you never know. Anything could happen. And look, Michigan came out on top. So
top.
Hats off to you guys. Like, amazing job.
Flan, I got a question for you before we get into the next segment. How many wins does Ryan Day have in the game, in the series?
He has 1.
How many wins as head coach / acting head coach does Sherrone Moore have in the game?
He has 2.
Oh my God! Come on.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I was told Ryan Day's a better coach than Sherrone Moore. That's what I was told.
Hey, well, you know what? Last year I was told it was with Harbaugh's team. This year it was with the Harbaugh team gutted, and Sherrone Moore. He did his thing, man. He did his thing.
That's why you don't fire a coach mid-season.
Hi, Chase.
I never said fire him mid-season.
No,
you guys are putting words in my mouth. It's like you saying nobody said Ryan Day was better than Sherrone Moore. You guys all last year were saying Sherrone Moore was better than Ryan Day. It looks like you guys were proven right. You guys are trying to flip the script on what you guys were saying.
I love you, Chase.
Right.
Hey, listen. Want to know where the best pregame Lions party is? December 5th? That's coming up here, man. Look, join us at Detroit's very own Second Best Bar, located at 42 Watson Street. Man, you guys want to be right in the middle of the action. You want to enjoy a little bit of that smooth Tullamore Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face.
Did you hear the owl?
Get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV 2LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month, or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Get to Les Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford, Dearborn, and Ferndale, LesStanford.com.
Michigan beats Ohio State 13-10, and that Ryan Day pack is so strong. I hope you coach there forever because Michigan owns you. Shout out to Khalil Mulling. Shout out to all the seniors. The defensive line played their ass off. Ohio State just didn't want it enough. That's what happens when you breed physicality and you own Columbus like this Michigan football team goes. Let's go blue, baby!
What up, though, people? Go blue, go blue. Hell to the victors.
You damn right.
What a victory. I forgot who said it in the chat, but they said, you know what? Sherrone Moore won all 4 rivalry games, man, and those trophies that come associated with it. So it's like, you know what? You had some downs. You had some times where faith was a little shaken, but you beat Ohio State. You get bowl eligible. You finish over 500 in the Big Ten. You finish over 500 with your regular record as well. It's not the season that we expected, but you know what? They did enough for me to say, it's good enough. It's good enough. I want to see what happens next year because I expect this team to be a lot more formidable. The expectation for me next season is not going to change. But as it relates to the expectation going into that game, Michigan got a huge victory in Ohio State. Blow Ohio State. They choked on it.
Oh.
Hard.
Hard. That's what was so beautiful about it all. Because here's the reality. When you go into a team on the road as 20-point underdogs, in order to win, you got to get some choking by the other team. And there was a lot of going on from Ohio State. And I want to get into the nitty and gritty, into the prongs of chokage, as I like to call it. The first guy who choked was Will Howard.
Damn right.
And you just hate to see it. Through 2 extremely costly interceptions, one of them when they were up 3-0 to set up Michigan with a 3-yard go-ahead touchdown drive, and the other one with the score tied at 10, deep in the red zone, he just throws it right to Makari Page. I don't know what he was looking at.
Wasn't Will Howard one of the reasons why you thought Ohio State was ultimately going to beat Michigan?
Oh,
That's what you said on Friday.
Here we go.
Chase.
That's what you said on Friday.
Chase.
The exact words were, Will Howard is a real quarterback.
Chase.
And then you talked about his numbers possibly being Heisman-like.
You need to read the room a little better, dude. This is our day to celebrate. And I said,
I think honestly, it should only be Ryan Ermanni's day to celebrate because you guys were all jumping ship and like thinking you guys were gonna lose.
This was Chase. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and know your place right now. Seriously, shut the fuck up. Here's why.
You said you were gonna lose.
Shut the fuck up.
We got the tape.
Michigan was 20-point underdogs. Michigan was 20-point underdogs.
And you guys won. Congrats. That's awesome. Ryan Ermanni's the only one who stood on business and said that they were gonna win.
Congratulations.
Right. People too. Shout out to our brother Matthew
Christ, Chase.
From an aspect of logic, we all stated on the show Friday. We all stated Friday. From an aspect of logic, this wasn't a game that University of Michigan was supposed to win.
Yeah.
And when we got ecstatic when Justin was stating what he was stating, we broke it exactly down for you. We're always going to root for our team to win.
You're right.
From an aspect of logic, it is what it is. They overcame. They stepped up.
Yes.
They did what was not expected of them.
Correct.
That just is what it is.
Can't take that away from them at all. I'm just saying you guys all were getting excited. We're only going to lose by 10. You guys were worried about covering the spread, not actually winning the game.
I broke that all down for you. If you can't comprehend
and I gave them a pathway, dude.
I'm just saying,
you're just making shit up.
I'm not saying.
Learn to read the room, Chase.
No, I'm just saying.
Chase, that's what it is.
Chase, America thought we was going to lose. We were 20-point underdogs.
Everybody
thought we were going to lose.
So the only way that we can celebrate the win is if we predict them to win. That's the only way, Chase. Is that what you're saying? You realize how stupid that sounds?
As a fan, that's how it should be.
And listen, Chase. Wow. Somebody said the same thing.
God,
and guess
you're a
what?
fucking
People
idiot,
can
dude.
be wrong, dog. We can all be wrong as fans, but
that's okay.
Did I come in here and say I wanted Ohio State to win? Hell no. I'm a Michigan fan through and through. I always want them to beat Ohio State.
Before you
it
even
looked like they weren't going to do so.
Before you even in here, I said you were one of the people on the show who actually stood in the trenches the most for your team.
And I get that, but people can be wrong, Chase. Everybody thought Michigan was going to lose. No,
not
a soul thought Michigan was going to go in there in the horseshoe and win this game.
No, there's nothing wrong with understanding logic. I'm just saying you guys were just getting a little too excited just to cover the spread. Get more excited for a possible win.
No. Again,
Cleaned it up.
Again. We explained this already. It wasn't about covering any spread. This was about the health of the program. There were serious question marks heading into this game that we did not have heading into the season. There were things that I was asking before the season, and I stood on that all season. Can he prove to be a program builder? And that I would reframe my judgment until at the end of the season, which you should do with any of them. You said fire the man. You keep trying to backtrack from it.
Yeah.
But at mid-season, you said fire him.
I didn't say I didn't say right during the season fire him, dude.
You said fire him.
You did.
Cut the mic if he gonna keep talking over me.
Yeah.
You said fire him. You can't do this. Flanders called you out on it before. You say things and you run from the responsibility. You said fire him. We said let's see what the man got. I said we're not going to disrespect him. You went at his coaching acumen. I said we're not going there because the man's proven himself in the streets with the hood and the burbs. He's given himself the opportunity to say, you know what? Let's get his recruits in here. That's all that we stated. Let's see what you can do. If I'm going to go and be a betting man, there's no way I'm going to bet that Ohio State was going to lose that game. Nobody in the world was. But the excitement was about the fact that, you know what, as we heard it, this is one of those games that could be special. This is one of those games that they can elevate themselves. This is one of those games where, you know what, they have more things to play for. And as we've done on this show, we have no problem with on the actual show saying, you know what you've done before. I've come on here believing this, but because I'm listening to what's going on, I now hear this. That actually shows that none of us are stubborn in our ways. I have no problem coming on saying, you know what? Because of what I heard from Justin, I actually believe that Michigan has a chance to go into the horseshoe and win this game. Because getting Ryan Day fired, playing in the game, some of those aspects of what this means, I'll be honest with you, sometimes you lose a little bit of sight over what that type of stuff means for this rivalry. Those guys didn't, though. Those players didn't. And that's what it means. That's what we said going into this game. We wanted to see what type of fire Sherrone Moore could instill for the squad. We wanted to see, are you guys going to have a game plan of all game plans for this game? And you know what? They did, with no quarterback. With no quarterback. No quarterback. And I don't even mean to get all riled up, man. It is what it is, bro. I'm never going to come up here and look people in the face and tell them something that I don't believe. That has nothing to do with my fandom, bro. Yeah. That's not. Do you understand, man? Like, bro, my family's been going to Michigan for 3 generations. This has nothing to do with fandom. Like, man, my dad is one of the most decorated engineers to come out of that school. This has, you don't understand, bro. It has nothing to do with, if I think logically this way or that way. This is ingrained in me, whether I'm the loudest person about it or not. It's ingrained in me. And this is about the program. This is about the assessment. This is about what can Sherrone Moore prove to us. I'm not getting on the knees for no team, bro. No team. I'm not just doing that. I don't. I'm being through with you. I will be optimistic, but I'm not a guy that just gets on my knees and slathers it up. I'm not. We'll have some fun. But you got to prove something to me, especially after you had expectations and you did not meet them, because at the end of the day, they're still not met.
Right.
We can be excited about what's going on, but they're still not met. So it's just like, bro, I don't even know what much more I can say about it. Like, I've broken it down time and time again. I'm not going to come on here with and that'd be like me telling people, I think the Pistons are just going to win 45 games, when I don't believe that. I take an assessment, look at what's going on, and you have to continue season by season, continue to, atone for how you're going to look at this thing.
And you're the most Pistons positive person there is. And
I still said 28-32 wins.
Yeah.
That's the reality. I'm not going to get up here and lie to people. I can't. If I'm going to sit in my home, I tell my dad, man, I hope we blast them. I hope we blow them out. Me and Jeremiah, we're going to beat them. Those are the things that we're saying at home. But I can't get up here on this desk and have that show be this. That's not what this is. We tried to bring an honest outlook on it, and we tried to break the game down as honestly as we could. My fandom wanted to say, we're going to blast them to smithereens.
Couldn't do it.
They did something that nobody expected except for them. And good on Sherrone Moore, because that's a sign of a good coach and a good program builder. That's just all that it is. I don't know why you keep trying to push this narrative, bro, that we're not real fans for some reason.
I'm not saying you guys aren't real fans. I'm just saying you guys are getting all rah-rah. And even you admitted, as we were talking before the show, like, I feel you guys were kind of like towing the line and you weren't really all in. I'm just saying, like,
all in
Ryan,
on what? Hold on.
On the rivalry, on the game.
On the rivalry?
Yeah.
I've already admitted, bro, I'm a dad of 4 kids. Are you kidding me? I've already admitted, you know what? I lost it because I don't have a problem coming on here and telling the truth. I already admitted I don't have a problem with saying, bro, there are certain aspects of it that I forgot. But hearing Justin speak on it brings those things right back to memory. Just like with the Michigan State game. I have no problem with stating that. I'm not a person who can't hear and listen. Not just talk about, when my ears are open. No. And I don't have a problem with being changed based on what I'm hearing, bro. Period. That's why on that show Friday I said, you know what? They got a really good chance to go in there and get this man fired.
And aren't we?
And I really believe that.
Aren't we, as sports commentators supposed to come in here and give unbiased commentary? Like, sure, I want to give you the slappy answer every time I get up here, but I just can't do that. As a fan, of course, I want my team to win all the time, bro. But we have a responsibility and a duty to these people to come up here and call this objectively. And we all called it objectively. Nobody thought they would win this game. They all proved us wrong. We can be happy about that as fans. I don't see what the problem is.
Well, and here's the thing, too, to more directly answer your question, Chase. this doesn't. Will Howard is still a better quarterback than Davis Warren. They still have a much better passing attack than Michigan's.
Clearly.
The fact that Will Howard blew it like that even makes it more of a choke job because I expected him as a Michigan fan to do better. I expected Ohio State to exploit certain matchups better, and they didn't. That's called choking as 20-point favorites at home, and that's what Will Howard did.
No one's denying the fact that they choked.
So then what is your point? What do you want us to do?
I'm just saying, like,
Chase?
you guys are like getting all hyped and like you guys just
Because we can.
Yeah, you can. I'm just saying you guys weren't believing from the beginning, and I think it's kind of soft.
Believing in what? That we were
that you were
going to
win.
I wasn't going to come up here from a logical standpoint of breaking the game down and tell people that they were going to win.
Dude, logic and fandom are two different things.
And that's why I told you the fandom part of it was me and my pops.
This isn't
me
a
and my
fandom
kids
show,
talking
Chase.
about we were going to blast them.
What is it for the Lions then, Sam?
Well, they're 11-1.
What is it when you're talking Patrick Mahomes? That sounds like a fan show.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing right now, Chase?
Yeah,
like, what is your point right now? That's what I'm saying. What purpose
Chase,
are you
you on
trying to
the
prove
island,
right now?
Yeah,
Because I have no problem with saying, yes, I did not think that they were going to lose that. I was wrong. That has no problem with that.
I'm
My
saying
take was
after-
still that I thought they had a good shot to do so.
After I got
Period.
done cutting the show on Friday, I'm listening to it because I have to go through and listen to this over and over again. It sounded like there was no one on here who was a true Michigan fan who was really bought in and thought
I don't care
their
about
team
your
was going to
definition
win.
of what a Michigan fan is.
Yeah, that's.
I don't care about your definition.
This isn't about what a
I'm taking
Michigan
classes
fan
there.
is.
My dad has 3 degrees from there. All my kids were born in the hospital.
Yeah,
Me and my
come on,
siblings.
dog.
Like, I don't care about what your
I didn't
definition
say
is.
what you guys were as a fan. I'm saying you guys
just
are
did. You're
fans.
trying
No,
to define
I said
what
you
we are
guys are fans,
bro.
and none of you guys
You
thought
don't
that you
know
were
what
going to
my
win.
personal fandom is. You're not in the conversation with me and my
I
family.
never questioned your personal
You
fandom.
literally are.
I said you guys never sounded like you were going to win.
As
So what? We were
What word
20-point
did you
underdogs,
use?
dude.
You said fans. You
Yeah.
used the word fans. Right.
That's not. You're
Stop,
questioning
bro.
your fandom.
I'm not questioning my fandom. I am a diehard Michigan fan, whether I think they're going to win or lose.
Okay.
What are you talking about? I'm in the trenches. That's not fair
we
weather.
doing a show here, man.
Like, come on, right?
We gotta call it objectively, dog.
Goodness
Like,
gracious. Let's
Chase,
let's
you
go to
my
break
guy, man.
and,
You're on island with this
and-
one, dog.
and recap.
I rock with you, man.
We're not getting anywhere
Because
with this.
I'm even off my game, and I don't even want to be that, man. Like, the people don't deserve that. It doesn't need to be this. You know, whatever point you're trying to prove, state that, and we'll let it be the end of that before we go to breaks. Put the camera on Chase. Whatever point you're trying to prove, you have the last word on it. Put the camera on Chase.
All I'm saying, on the show Friday, you guys were getting real hype for hoping the team was to cover the spread. You guys ended up winning, and now it's a whole different story. And I just want the energy to stay the same. You guys are obviously excited that you guys won. Totally fair. You guys won the rivalry, and you are allowed to be excited. You guys won 4 in a row. Congratulations to the team. Congratulations to Sherrone Moore.
You can't say keep it consistent and then say we could be excited about the win.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. Like I said, how I see it, I'm all in all the time for my team. Like for Central, like in a rivalry game, I don't care if we have no wins on the season. I'm always going to ride for my team. That's what, to me, being a fan is. And like when we're talking about a rivalry, like we throw logic out the window. It is completely all about fandom. That's the way I see it.
We run in a
Isn't
sports
that what
show,
I said
bro.
Friday?
Yeah.
And for the record,
That's literally what I
we
said
can't
Friday.
do that,
You watched the
dog.
show, and you clearly aren't comprehending. I wanted you to have the last word, but it's just like, my gosh, you got it though, bro.
And for the record, you're proving my point of what I've accused you of before. You have no real opinions then. If you can't just say things objectively and just get on your knees for a team every single time, then you have no opinions. Then you have no objectivity, and that doesn't make for a good show.
It don't.
And it must be nice when you're just like sitting in the chair and you can just like to all your teams. That's not a sports show. That's not opinions.
My team is Central Michigan. My
I know
team is
that.
the Lions. Like that.
Okay,
I don't
fine.
waver on who my teams are.
I know. Fine.
So like, how are you saying I'm not objective?
You're not objective because you're accusing us of wavering because we didn't pick a team that was 20-point underdogs to win. We're
Right.
being
Your
objective.
team.
We're doing a
This
show.
isn't just like a random pick'em game. This is talking about your team.
But that's like saying we don't have the right to root for the Tigers when everybody and their mama thought there was no shot at the playoffs.
I'm not saying you don't have the right to
They
root
were a
for them. I'm
dumpster
just
fire.
saying, like, I look
Like,
at it different. I look at Ryan Ermanni, like, who's been with the team the whole season, who never wavered in his belief, a
And
little bit
that's
differently
fine.
than I look at the way.
Did your
like,
belief in Michigan football waver? Was there a time in the season, Flannel, where you were not a fan?
I was always a fan. I was just calling it how I saw it.
That's why this is such ignorant conversation. All of us were fans all the time. We watched all the Rich Wright years. We watched all the Brady Hoke years. We watched every single game. We watched the losses. We go back and we watch the wins. Like this is what we do. I know everything that I've done. Like we're not qualifying fans here. You don't have that right to do that. You're not a person who even says this is my opinion, and I will then allow the chat and allow the crew to you know what?
Right.
Talk about that.
Right.
We can't. It doesn't matter to you because none of it matters. You came on the show, you talked about what the Commanders weren't going to be. And then you backpedal from those things. You talk about openly, hey, I think that my teams are always going to do everything 100% perfectly. I'm not one of those guys that believes in that. So there's no point, there's no standard, there is no aspect of conversation that you can enter into because there's nothing we can hold you accountable to because you're not going to hold yourself accountable to anything.
What are you talking? I hold myself plenty accountable. We've talked. I said I was wrong about the Commanders.
Every single game this season.
So
that's what you
hold
would pick. You
yourself
would bet the
accountable.
house on Central winning every single game.
I never come in here and
Would
just
you
say
have done
rah
that?
rah.
I'm
No,
asking
no,
you.
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't gamble.
All right,
First
next
of all,
segment.
Yes, let's go to break. Seriously.
Yeah.
It doesn't pick his own team to win every game, but he's been telling us we were supposed to.
All right,
But he's the real fan.
But before we go to break, let's just clear this up just a little bit. Chase, I think the point that they're trying to get across is that no matter what, in their heart and their fandom, they're always going to be Michigan fans. Yes, in their heart, they think that every game they are going to win. But as an unbiased sports announcer sitting up here on this desk doing a due diligence to these people, everyone that's in our chat family, they are going to give their unbiased opinion. And with a 20-point underdog spread, yeah, they thought that they were going to lose. But hey, America thought they were going to. Hell, Desmond Howard was the only person who picked Michigan to win on that big noon kickoff. And guess what? He was the smartest man on that desk because Michigan went out there and won. So that is it. So regardless of what they said this past weekend, yes, even though they thought they might have lost, at least covered the spread, at least shown a good outing, they came out and did the impossible and they actually won. So there it is.
Let's work it out.
All right, we got Planet Fitness, of course, where your fitness is essential. They have 50-plus Metro Detroit locations. So if you want to get in shape for the holiday season, you've got that. They've got cheap memberships. You can upgrade to the Black Card to get all of the amenities. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
I got to tell you guys about that Tangerine Space Machine, the new easy drinking IPA that is out of this world. It's smooth, it's juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with the Tangerine Space Machine, the intergalactic haze of goodness. And I don't know if you guys know this, but they know about this in outer space. This is on tap on the moon right now, which Ryan Day will get punted to probably at the end of the season. Who knows, though? But really, he can grab himself a can of this when he's on his way to the moon as well. The official beer of outer space, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan. Go and grab yourself a case today. Now, let's tell them about Woodward in Maine.
Absolutely. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward in Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward in Maine, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drake, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then, of course, you got to go to the pregame show hosted by these extraordinary gentlemen up there. I don't even have to tell you who all was making those sounds on Saturday. Most of us were in the
Big musket.
Oh, that was a musket day for sure. Actually, more than a musket that day. It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belichian bring you the best Lions pregame show. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports, live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
And we are back. You know what? That's something that I like looking at.
Yes, sir.
A sad, crying Ryan Day. Man, I can't even just be happy about the dub, bro.
No, you know what? That's all right. We're gonna, because
I just want to break the game now.
Speaking of Ryan Day, and I think this is a good time to really get into the weeds, into the X's and O's, and exactly how he choked with an assist from Chip Kelly, of course. I already said Will Howard choked with 2 interceptions. Their kicker, Jaden Fielding, choked with 2 missed field goals under 40 yards. But Ryan Day choked as well. He puckered. He crumbled under the expectations, and Michigan is clearly in his head. And if they weren't before, which we obviously know that they were, they are now. And let me really break down exactly how. We all know there's an obvious insecurity when it comes to Michigan and Ryan Day. Do you think that that's a fair statement right there?
Fair.
And there's a couple of things that I noticed and a couple of narratives that Ryan Day really tried to dispel, to me, even more than prioritizing winning the game. Everybody knows that over the last 20 plus years, the team that wins the rushing battle usually wins the game. Actually always wins the game in the last 20 plus years, and this year was not different. Michigan dominated the rushing battle. And also, Ohio State and Ryan Day in particular, seems really bothered by the perception that the team isn't tough for some reason. What Ohio State should have done, in my opinion, is just do what they do best, lean into their strengths, and not try to ground and pound on the ground and try to out-tough Michigan, because that did not work. Ohio State got absolutely nothing going on the ground, but yet they kept going back to the well for God knows what reason. They rushed 26 times for 77 yards. The one touchdown drive that Ohio State had on the game was that 2-minute drill right before halftime, in which it was 9 plays and 8 of them were passing, and Will Howard spread the ball around to Ibuka, to Carnell Tate, and ultimately hit Jeremiah Smith for a touchdown. That was when their offense looked best, but Ohio State continued to come out and try to run with Judkins up the middle, run with Travion Henderson up the middle, and it just wasn't working, other than a couple of pops up the middle and 1 4th-and-1 run on an outside to Quidshot Judkins. That's about it, but yet they kept trying to go back to the well. And honestly, one of the most scared bitch coaching moves I've ever seen in my life, and again, this is Ryan Day in combination with Chip Kelly. Remember when Davis Warren threw that horrific interception to Caleb Downs, and they got the ball 1st and 10 at Ohio State 16? I thought at that point Ohio State was they were finally going to, step on Michigan's throat, score a touchdown, and ultimately end up winning the game. That is not what happened, because what did Ohio State call on that drive? They called a run to Judkins up the middle for no gain. They did this rollout throwback pass to G. Scott, which went absolutely nowhere. And on 3rd and 10 at the 16, they run a draw play to Travion Henderson, which goes nowhere. At no point during that drive did they try to target Jeremiah Smith, did they try to target Carnell Tate, or did they try to target Emeka Ibuka? And here's another thing that makes it even more egregious. When Ohio State threw the ball in the end zone to Jeremiah Smith, good things happened for them. He drew 2 pass interference calls and he scored a touchdown. But on that drive, Ryan Day coached scared, and Ryan Day coached scared throughout this entire game, and him along with Chip Kelly had one of the worst game plans I've ever seen. They leaned into their weaknesses and they went away from their strengths for God knows what reason, and that is a sign of a team that's choking. That is a sign of a team and a coach that is insecure and tries to dispel narratives instead of just going out and win the game. It was an absolute egregious coaching job by Ryan Day, and you just hate to see it.
Just hate to see it. And you know what? When you're looking at this game, that was the one aspect of it that I was like, you know what? I really feel like this team has an opportunity to go out there, kind of find this fire, and beat Ryan Day. What I saw last year in the game against Sherrone Moore, and what I wanted to see this year was how much of it was a hardball type of a thing. And I don't even care if it's a hardball type of a thing. If something works, why not utilize it, especially if it's coming from your tree, from your hierarchy at University of Michigan? So I absolutely loved it. And what I saw, it was a lot of the same things that they did to confuse us. What was the quarterback from last year? That's not
Kyle McCord.
Kyle McCord, yeah.
Who's balling at Syracuse, by the way.
Yeah, he just had a big dub, man. It was crazy to see him afterwards talking about it and everything. But it was like you could see some of the same wrinkles with down some of your best players. So it's just like, you know what? Whatever they did to learn, whatever they did to say, you know what, we're going to get better. These are the aspects of what people are looking at when they see Ryan Day. They're like, is he getting better as a coach, though? Is he able to put his players in a good position to succeed? Or is he just, as Justin said, is he just relying on athlete merchants? That was one thing that Justin said. He said, you know what, they got athlete merchants. But Michigan looked like a well-coached team. They looked like, honestly, out of the last 2 or 3 weeks, which is what prompted the question on the show Friday, which had me thinking towards like, man, you know what? Is there some things that you saw in the Northwestern game that lead you to believe that this squad can have some success against Ohio State? That was the aspect of it. Seeing better as this team went throughout the season. For me, this was always going to be, and we've said this throughout the season, Sherrone Moore has to prove something this season. He has to. He has to prove that these guys will fight for him. And that's an aspect of it. Nobody's going to give him that. Not Ohio State. Well, Ryan Day tried his best. Not the fans. Because we understand that there was probably some aspect of PTSD when you think about what happened after Lloyd Carr left.
Yes.
And what happened at the beginning of Jim Harbaugh. Remember a whole lot of fans and what the sentiment was at the beginning of Harbaugh's tenure. And that's why with Sherrone Moore specifically was about, you know what? Before there are any overarching, just like he's the guy, let's see what he can do over a course of a season. Let's see what he can do to build this program. Let's see what he can do to make sure that he's bringing in the right coordinators and positional coaches. These are things that Ohio State tried to do. They went out there, and we all hear it. All the money they spent, $20 million, the most in college football, to build this roster. But it was lacking some of the aspects of culture. Some of the aspects of when I say, hey, I'm not going to question Sherrone Moore as a coach, it's those components of it. He's been one of those guys who's been instrumental with helping young men develop.
Yeah.
Like when we talk about the 3C Academy, it's not just what you do in the field, but who you are character-wise. And so being able to both identify and being able to coach those guys up throughout the course of the season, in which most people could have said there's not much to play for, those are things. So I'm like, you know what? That's a guy I can say is on the right path. Because you know who can't say that? Ryan Day.
Ryan Day can't say that. And to put a bow on the whole choking thing, because I want to give credit to the defense as well. We're going to give them their shout out in the next segment.
Hold on, Sam. Did you even bring up when he tried to take back-to-back timeouts?
Yeah.
It didn't have, he couldn't do it? Like, because he had the wrong personnel on the field?
Coaching. That's egregious. And you know how I know? You know how you know that we're all right about Ryan Day? Ohio State fans want him gone. Listen, I mean, I listen to a lot of just because I want to have a little fun. Yeah. Ohio State radio and Ohio State podcasts after the game, they were not happy. And even some of them who had defended Ryan Day up to this point were like, I'm out. This was the one time where Ohio State was the clear favorite, where they both weren't contenders. The only one that was a contender was Ohio State, and they still choked. And all of that choking, all of that Will Howard, Jaden Fielding, Ryan Day, Chip Kelly, led to Ohio State getting 5 trips into the red zone and coming away with 10 points. Yes, they choked, but a lot of that had to do with Michigan's defense as well. And when we come back, we got to shout out some players, and we got to shout out a certain coach who a lot of people, myself included, may have been a little bit too quick to bury. But first, I have to tell you about KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face.
Did you hear the owl?
Get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk in any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Just scan that QR code somewhere on the screen and you get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. It's wicked awesome. Hey, and we are back. What up, though, people? Let's wake up Woodward, man. Hey, you know what? The blood is definitely pumping.
Oh, yeah. No, we can tell.
Hey, listen. Michigan, big victory over Ohio State. And you know what? Let's just satisfy that like button real quick.
Let's do it, man.
We got to hit it nice.
We got some people riled up in here today, man.
We gotta calm it back down.
Hey, sometimes you gotta relieve some of that frustration, man. I know you don't like Michigan. It's okay, man. So just go ahead and smash that like button. Just get your shit off on the like button, man. We appreciate y'all, man.
Shout out to Chase, too. What up, though?
Shout out.
Detroit's #1 draft pick in the sound booth, that is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood. What up, though?
Hey, man. I love everything, about what we do here. We just, as a society and as, a sports society, got to get over this need to be right. I think that's mainly the factor that played into what happened earlier, man. It's okay to be wrong, y'all. It's okay. Not everything is one side, locked into one side or locked into the other side. There's gray area, there's caveats, there's middle ground. And that's what I try and come up here and give y'all. I try to give y'all both sides, but
one of the dirtiest things, and this is something that the legends Terry Foster and Rod Beard have helped me with. One of the dirtiest things has been going from just a fan, where you could just be reckless with any of your opinions, to on this desk where you have a responsibility. And that's the aspect and component of it. It felt dirty having to say, sheesh, if I have to sit here and just talk about logic, logically it doesn't feel that way. If it was just sitting at home on the couch, no Woodward Sports, no sports job, I would have been a menace the entire week. Would have been a minute, but that's not the responsibility now. Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That's JB Smooth. I was saying the TD booth, but it's not your victory Monday. What up, though?
Jumbo. It's not my victory Monday. It's my betting victory Monday, though. Shout out to that.
Up, made people some money.
Though. Made people some money. And yeah, I agree with KG. As sportscaster, I think the best thing you can do is like try to shoot for 500 in your predictions and your thoughts and everything like that as well too. So like it's okay to be wrong at some point in time. Like it's perfectly fine. Like hell, half my predictions for Survivor Series didn't go the way it went, but still, hey, it was still a great show and I enjoyed it. It's okay to be wrong.
It is. It is okay to be wrong. But you know who was very right on Saturday? That Michigan defense.
Damn right. Talk about it.
I'm not kidding when I say this. That was one of the greatest defensive performances I've ever seen by a Michigan team, holding that vaunted Ohio State offense to 10 points. And we talk about how Ohio State choked, but Michigan had to make the plays. Amir Hall had to make that interception. That was actually a really good jumping of the route by him. Makari Page had to make the interception. Michigan stopped Ohio State in the red zone and forced 3 field goal attempts. Ohio State just happened to miss 2 of them, which was great. Michigan's defense was absolutely immaculate. And before we get to one Mr. Martindale, I want to highlight a couple of players. A couple of them I mentioned already. But I want to start with the big guys up front, the best defensive tackle duo in the country, and that is Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham. They blew up that game from beginning to end. It was absolutely unbelievable to watch. But what's great about how they played in tandem is that Mason Graham was the one who was really, really stout against the run. He had 5 run stops on that game. And a run stop is basically, it's like a more advanced tackling stat. That's when an example of a run stop is when they are on 1st and 10 and you stop them for no gain, or you stop them for a yard, or it's 3rd and 2 and you stop them from getting the first down. Mason Graham was effing Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson's life up on that day. Was absolutely phenomenal. He is going to be the first defensive lineman taken in next year's NFL draft. An absolute Michigan legend. And Kenneth Grant did it more in terms of pressuring the quarterback. He got 5 pressures on Will Howard, definitely disrupted a couple of throws and forced incomplete passes. Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant against the depleted Ohio State offensive line. We knew that if they were going to win that game, they had to eat, and they most certainly did. Now I have to shout out a couple of players who hadn't necessarily had the best seasons, but showed up big in this game. I got to go with Amir Hall first. And Amir Hall, he wasn't bad this year. It's just he's only playing the role that he is because Will Johnson was out. But he made one of the biggest defensive plays of the season for Michigan. Actually, I would say the biggest, because he set Michigan up with a 3-yard touchdown drive, which they promptly cashed in a couple of plays with Khalil Mullings. And then Makari Page. It wasn't just that interception in the red zone. Remember that first Ohio State drive when they were facing 3rd and 5 in the red zone? It was Makari Page's defense on Emeka Egbuka, which is a matchup that Egbuka should win, at least on paper. Makari Page made the defensive play to force the field goal, the one field goal that they actually made. And then remember that hit that Makari Page had on Will Howard, which from afar it looked like it could have been helmet to helmet, but when you looked up close, it was actually shoulder. I know Will Howard eventually came back into the game, but that was a huge tone setter. That's the type of play, you see it all the time in Michigan-Ohio State games. You saw it last year with Quentin Johnson's big hit on Emeka Egbuka. You saw it in the 97 game with David Boston and Charles Woodson's fight. These tone-setting plays oftentimes loom very large in these games. So I got to shout out those 4 players, and the defense had just a masterful performance.
And that's why I have to ask, one, what did they do so right in this, and where was this sooner? I'm all grateful for the growth, but this was the aspect of it when I asked you. I was like, you know what? I do feel like they can have some success defensively against Ohio State, which a lot of us felt. Yeah. But then we talked about, you know what? If they beat them, then what? What about with Wink Martindale? And you was like, I'm going to have big questions about where was this the rest of the season. Just in you guys' eyes, what do you believe he did so right against Ohio State?
Well, here's the thing, and this is where I have to answer this in a more roundabout way. It's not, to me, necessarily about what Wink Martindale did right in this game. It's more about, to me, the fact that in the grand scheme of things, he was not the problem this season. When you really look back at it, the problem was the offense. The problem was the quarterback play. The problem was Kurt Campbell. And don't get me wrong, Wink Martindale was not perfect this season. I really don't like what I saw from this defense against Texas and Oregon. They looked overmatched. They reminded me of those old Don Brown going up against Ohio State games. But when you look at their other 3 losses, I think in all of those games, the defense actually did enough to win, and the offense let them down. I mean, against Illinois, they only gave up 21 points. They gave up less than 100 passing yards to Luke Altmaier, but the offense could only manage 7. You look at how well the defense played in the second half at Indiana, held them to 20 points as a whole, and Michigan could only manage 15. Even in the Washington game, did they give up too many passing yards to Will Rogers? Abso-freaking-lutely. But remember, Michigan, Ernest Hausman got a big interception in the fourth quarter with the score tied at 17, and it was Jack Tuttle that fumbled the ball away and gave Washington a short field touchdown drive. And when Michigan got the ball back, it was Jack Tuttle who threw a terrible interception that led to a short field goal drive. So the point I'm trying to make in a long-winded way is that I am sorry, Wink Martindale. You were not the problem. You were not perfect, but you coached well enough for this to be a 10-win football team. It was the offense that was the problem, and you saw the culmination. You saw the magnum opus for Wink Martindale on Saturday.
And you know what? One play summed up the fact that the offense probably just bombed what could have been a really good season. It was letting freaking Sawyer get that interception. Perfect play design. And people say, well, you know you're not supposed to use you know he can't throw. What did you expect? That's where people instantly went, what are you supposed? Perfect play design.
Yeah, he was open.
And that's
all
where
he had to do was lobby. He was open.
That was like the microcosm of the entire season. Like, man.
Yeah.
Plays where you're like, oh, no, that was just over his head. Oh, no, that's just behind him. That's just to the other team, even though the other player, your wide receiver, was wide open. Those are the components of it. It's just like, man. And then you wonder what could have been with the running back room. What could have been if teams had to respect the fact that, hey, you know what? They can at least be serviceable quarterbacks. But this Michigan team literally beat Ohio State with essentially no quarterback play.
They threw for 62 yards.
Yeah.
That's incredible for an entire game.
And you know what I said before the game? I said that the only way that Michigan was able to win, I mean, one of the ways was that they win the turnover battle. It was looking real good at first, but then Davis Warren turned around and threw a couple of bad interceptions himself. So that's even more of a testament to how Ohio State, as the 20-point favorites, as the team that's going to the college football playoff, as the team that's at home, choked. You mentioned the Jack Sawyer interception. When that play happened, I thought, all right, that's when Ohio State goes down the field and scores.
I felt like you on this desk, banging your head. Like when I saw it, I was like, what in the world, bro? Like, are you serious?
I could have threw that.
Especially,
we all could have threw that better.
It's like looking at the play-by-play, you know, all the different drives, not you know, just looking at how they ended. It was crazy, man. Punt, interception, punt, interception, missed field goal, punt. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But it was because we already knew what to expect out of Michigan's offense. I did not expect that out of Ohio State's offense at all. We knew that there were some weak spots in their defense. That's what everybody talked about on the show. But out of their offense, I did not expect Michigan's defense to go in there and absolutely body bag them. And it was players stepping up. It was some of the things we talked about at the beginning of the season. When I thought, you know what, this team can go out there and have a good season. In the beginning of the season, we picked them to beat Ohio State. If you guys remember, at the beginning of the season, we actually did. And people called us crazy. As the season went on, certain expectations changed. But some of the reasons why I did believe at the beginning of the season they could do it showed up in this game. Players stepped up. The players that could make differences on this team, like Mason Graham, like Kenneth Grant, those players stepped up and made the difference. They were the differences in ways that sometimes we didn't see earlier in the season in some of their other losses.
I'll tell you what, though, Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, wherever they were projected to be drafted, moved them up a couple of spots after that last game. They dominated from beginning to end. And overall, even though the defense, even though I don't think it's the problem, didn't look its best at all times, those two guys continue to show up from beginning to end. And I got to shout out Josiah Stewart as well.
Yes.
Maybe this season, you could argue the best overall player on this team. And you know what? They didn't get to Will Howard for a sack at all, but they made his life hard at times. As I said at the beginning, there were clearly a couple of plays in which there was one in which Wesley Walker almost got that pick off of a tipped ball that Kenneth Grant was just right in the face of Will Howard. That's what you got to do in order to win those games, and I absolutely love the way the defense played. But when we come back, we got to talk about some of the extracurriculars after the game, because some stuff went down, and there are a lot of sour grapes and crying. I will just say that.
I gotta get in on this too.
You absolutely will, because you made yourself a great short, and I can't wait to hear from you, JB, as well. But first, tell us about Sabbath Coffee.
Hey, I will. You know what? Fuel your Lions fandom, all your Detroit sports fandom, your Gold Blue fandom as well with the perfect cup, and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or saving a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Choose your favorite roast. Use code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on the screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet, and if it doesn't hit, they will put it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code. Use code Woodward1000 and make some money today.
Hey, what up, dog people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Go Blue, man. Michigan with a big dub. What a holiday season as well. The Detroit Lions obviously got that Thanksgiving dub. If you missed it, the victory show was on Friday, and everybody else on the network definitely had a good time with it. A lot of different ways that people feel. A lot of different just perspectives on that victory. But I'm still fired up nonetheless. Short week, big dub over your rival. And you get to just, have an opportunity still to have that undefeated record in the North. So shout out to the Lions again, just to show them some love. But Sherrone Moore, man, what exactly does this win mean for Sherrone Moore?
It means he's safe 100%. It means that you can no longer tell him that it was Jim Harbaugh's team and all he did was not screw it up on game day. That's what you can say. And don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that Sherrone Moore had this X's and O's masterclass or anything like that, but he didn't do anything egregious like Ryan Day did. He knew what he had going into the game, and he used what he had better than Ryan Day did. And you know what is also clear, and it's a big part of being a college coach? Those players love him. They want to play hard for him. They don't want him to go anywhere, and you've seen it, not just in this game, but even in the Northwestern game. The Northwestern game, that was their first real blowout of the season, and then they go into Ohio State and win. And I understand, too, that with Bryce Underwood, it's not just Sherrone Moore, it's the bag that they're throwing at Bryce Underwood. But Sherrone Moore got 2 wins in the last 2 games to make it a 7-5 give Michigan a 7-5 record. He got a huge win, and I think this was the biggest point spread ever in the history of the game at Ohio State. And he was able to play a part in getting Bryce Underwood. So right now, Sherrone Moore, if you would have bought Sherrone Moore stock when they were 5-5, you would have made a lot of money right now because his stock is rising exponentially.
And that's the thing for me with Sherrone Moore. I was already in a position where I'm like, okay, there's some big wins here down the season as it relates to where we are now. The expectations of where we thought they were, it's not there. So can you beat Michigan State, a team that at some point in time this season, there was people who thought Michigan State was going to win that game. And I want to see how you respond in these rivalries because this is as it goes to the program. As it relates to the coaching, I had faith in who he could be as a coach. But I wanted to know, like, can this guy build a program? And part of that, aside from the recruits you bring in, is instilling that culture about these rivalry games. Because look at what it does. 7-5 season, which realistically it's not the success that they were supposed to have. It's not the success that I believe that they were built for. But look at what happens when you beat all 4 of your rivals. Look at what happens when you end the season with a big victory over Ohio State. Look what happens when you stop them from being able to go and get a Big Ten championship. Because no matter what we state, no matter what people want to say, when we all sit down and talk about these rivals, we talk about those records in those games. We talk about the head-to-heads. We talk about who has more Big Ten championships. If I'm not getting it, and I do everything in my power to make sure you're not getting it, while also making sure we're finishing 500, there was so much on the line for this team that to me is where I was wanting to see. Can Sherrone Moore, as it relates to program building, be one of those ultimate motivators? Not just a guy who we see in the post game doing things, but a guy who we know can motivate guys. No matter how weird it was, Jim Harbaugh was a coach. When you talk to his players, they'll even say, yeah, there's some traits there. Like I remember Blake Corum talking about Harbaugh with Amon-Ra St. Brown. And Amon-Ra's like, yo, he's weird, man. And he's like, bro, but he gets fired up. He's a master motivator. And that's what I want to see out of Sherrone Moore. Aside from the recruiting, aside from the NFL connections that you could procure for your program, aside from the coordinators, what type of culture are you going to set for this team? Because we knew Rich Rod came in here and tried to change that. And the reason why Brady Hoke, despite not really meeting expectation of what Michigan fans wanted, the reason why he was still celebrated and talked of Jim Harbaugh is because he tried to restore the program back to those values. And it set what Harbaugh said, a good foundation for moving forward. And that's what I love about Sherrone Moore. Harbaugh left a good foundation for Sherrone Moore. And Sherrone Moore was able to, through the ups and downs of the season, capitalize on it as it went on. And that, to me, when you see this type of win, it's almost like, you know what? It's the culmination of a body of work. We still have room to grow. We still have a ways to go. We still have work to do. But we know that we're on the right path. We know that we have some dogs here. We know that we can grow. We know that we can call ourselves wrong. This is one of the things that we talk about with Dan Campbell and co. Hey, you're my friend, but hey, I got to move on from you. I got to make sure that these coordinators are right. Even when you talk about adding an aspect of Terrell Williams this offseason, I wouldn't even say that they needed to add that. You know what I mean? But they did anyway because they want to continue to get better. And so that's that. When I look at this win, it's kind of a culmination of multiple things coming together at the end of the season. And for better or for worse, for a lot of Michigan seasons, it's always going to come down to that last game. It can dictate if you're going to the Big Ten title game. It can dictate if you have an undefeated season. It can dictate if you're going to be the #1 seed. Look at last year. It can dictate everything. Everything. So that's why winning this one game means so much to my belief in Sherrone Moore as a program builder. It's like the cherry on top of the recruiting. You win all your rivalry games. Go out there and honestly fight to win a bowl game. Yeah. Whatever it is, I don't care.
Who knows who's all going to play in that bowl game, but still, yeah, I would love to see that. But that's what it's all about. Because Sherrone Moore, I have to be honest, I had some questions pre-Bryce Underwood.
We all did.
I did.
We all did.
I'm not going to lie. I was a little bit worried that he wasn't going to survive, at least this offseason. But you know what? As I said before, 2 big wins to end the season. 1 really big win at Ohio State. And I'll tell you what, too. I didn't think Sherrone Moore had it in him because outside of the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, Ryan Day is a much more accomplished coach than Sherrone Moore. It's not even close. But in this game, as you said, a game which can decide so much. Last year, it decided Michigan going to the Big Ten championship game. This year, it decided that Ohio State is not going to the Big Ten championship. That honor will be left for Penn State and Oregon. So that's another huge thing. Ohio State, 4 consecutive years, no Big Ten championships. And Sherrone Moore has had a big hand in all of them as an assistant, but as the last 2 being the coach on the sideline and this one, it being his program. KG, I got to get your thoughts on this because you didn't waver on Sherrone as much as I did.
Yeah, no, and I wanted to see what another year of this looked like, and it's mainly because his ability to recruit. He already had that in the chamber coming in, so that already gave me some kind of hope. Like, okay, maybe, he can, if they can get back to a winning program, then maybe you can get more kids in here with talent and you can actually build this how you want to build it. But that was the one thing that kept me in the boat on him the whole time. Of course, he had to show it on the field. He had to show it in the X's and O's. And I think more so than anything, it was his personnel hires that kind of let him down this year. So I wasn't ready to fully blame him for everything that happened this year. But I mean, ultimately you got up for big games, and that's what gave me more hope as a fan. The fact that you were able to go out there and beat Michigan State when nobody thought you could beat Michigan State. The fact that you were out there able to beat Ohio State when nobody in the nation thought you were going to beat Ohio State. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see where this can go now that you have a Bryce Underwood in the building. And quite honestly, you have a philosophy change. And I think that went a long way into me wanting to keep Sherrone as well. Now that Michigan is finally in the NIL boat and willing to change some of the errors of the past, this can look different. I've been on record on E&E and everything saying this can all change in 1 year if Michigan actually gets out there and spends some money. Will it change? It's yet to be seen. But I think Sherrone Moore, he has a good grasp on the locker room. Those kids play for him. You love to see that. He's a great recruiter. At least he's showing to be a great recruiter so far. And if he can get like maybe a different offensive coordinator in here next year to help him with the offense, then I think the sky's the limit for this Michigan team.
Different offensive coordinator, 100%.
Yeah.
But man, this show is absolutely flying by.
It is.
We have to talk about what happened on the field after the game.
And in the booth.
There was but I'll tell you what, Gus. I think after that, Michigan actually came out smelling like roses. Some people don't think so, but those people are opinions of people we don't need to really take into account because a lot of them reside in East Lansing. That's all I'll say. But hey. not you, JB. But
right,
whose
like
opinion
you, JB.
And whose home skills, not the best transition, I always value. Mark White. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face.
Did you hear the owl?
Get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
We already told you Syracuse was taking over Michigan. Don't check out their new Fenton and Heartland locations today. Don't miss out on their grand opening events in Fenton on December 5th and in Heartland on December 12th from 4 to 8 p.m. Enjoy exclusive giveaways, a chance to win Syracuse for a year, and the cheapest gas in the state. Come out and enjoy the fun food and unbeatable deals at Syracuse Crispy Chicken and Pizza.
Hey, and we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for going crazy on that like button. If you haven't gotten an opportunity to, go on ahead and smash that like button, man.
Look like Kirby Smart.
Shout out to you. Shout out to you guys. I already told the crew too. You know, I don't like having those types of interactions, especially on air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So definitely apologies to you all for the beginning of the show. Definitely, but we want to make sure that as we continue to go, like Sherrone Moore, hey, we improve as we go on, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Hey, let's rock. And you know what? Well, shout out to Chase as well. He did have to dip. He had to go to the day job.
Right. Nobody kicked him out,
Cyber
y'all.
Monday. That's what we gave him the last word going into that segment as well. And it is what it is, man. This is what happens, man. This is what happens in sports debate. It gets hot. And it's passionate. I'm glad to know that I work with people who do care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm glad to know I work with people who put in the time. One of the things that I do respect is that people here prepare. They prepare, and they try their best to knock every aspect of their jobs out the park. And it's because of who we are in the trenches. We've been through a lot of ups and downs here. Final, we've been here for almost the entire time.
Yep.
That Woodward has been a thing. Whether people ever saw our faces or not, just grinding away, and to see where this thing has gone now. I know Spinney was another one of those kind of in the beginnings, JB as well. So, and then KG, you've hit the ground running. I know that guys like Justin, Chase, Travis, and others, they're just like that. Easy too. Let me make sure I shout out Easy, one of those day ones. But you know, so that's what this is about. Sports debate is just sports debate. We got the opportunity to be able to have a little fun and to be able to kind of stretch our legs a little bit and put on as good a show as we can.
Yeah.
And you know what? Michigan versus Ohio State. Fireworks on the field, it's always going to be fireworks off of it. That's just the passion of this rivalry in this game. And we saw what happened after the game as well.
We do.
The skirmish when Michigan went to plant the flag on the Buckeyes at center field.
And JB's got a couple of videos if you want to play those.
Please
said altercation.
Just hate to see it. Just terrible.
And that first video was courtesy of Adam King at Adam King 10 TV. And that man that you saw in street clothes that was Michigan's hero for that day,
Michigan's
at least
Batman.
after the game. That was Jason Avant.
Number 8 himself.
Number 8, former Michigan wide receiver. Had a long, successful career in the NFL as well. And you know
Shout
what?
out to Jason Avant.
I don't know why I was dressed like a bum,
Going
but
up
whatever.
and snatching that flag away from guys in pads when you are a retired NFL football player, Michigan legend. That is true badassery right there.
Shout out to Jason Avant, man. As soon as I saw that play, I don't know what time it was. It was some early early unseemly hours that if my phone buzzed, my wife would probably look over like, why your phone buzzing? I hit a flannel like, bro, this is porn to me, dog. It's like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, dog. I was on one. I was praying graphics. I was like, yo, I don't even have shifts anymore. You know what I mean? Because the squad has been holding down, but I was like, oh, I'm getting some posts off today. I'm getting some posts and some graphics done today.
I mean, it's like porn to me.
That's what it was. And when I saw Jason Avant go out there, because you got to admit, there was a little part of me that was like, okay, cool, we planted the flag. But when I heard the Ohio State crowd roar, when Jack Sawyer took the flag off the pole, I was like, it can't end that way. And I saw the whole sea of scarlet and gray standing in front of the maize and blue. And I was like, there's no way we're getting this flag. And then all of a sudden, dog, when you see like all of social media light up, all of it, like, yo, who is this dude? Everyone is funny. Like, give his family a scholarship, give him a job, give him a raise, and then you find out that it is Michigan legend Jason Avant, all swaddled up, like he's freaking Batman, dog, in street clothes. I was just like, this, how do you take a legendary game and up it, and then up it again, and then up it again? It was just masterful. I mean, if you're a Michigan fan, that is.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Avant, too, he was, just going off his Michigan career, he was the bridge between Braylon Edwards and Mario Manningham. He had himself an 1,000-yard season as well. But if I'm Ohio State right now and their fans and their players, I'm embarrassed because you had all game to prevent Michigan from winning and celebrating victoriously planting the flag at Ohio State. And this is something that's been repeated a lot, and I'm just going to repeat it again. They showed more fight after the field than during the game. And Jack Sawyer, enjoy your 0-4 against Michigan, buddy.
They can't come in here and do this again, bro.
You can't plant a flag on our field.
Again.
Again.
That was the part that got me.
Again.
And Ryan Day's just sitting there like, bro, somebody plug his controller back in. Because he's just literally sitting there. And I saw even Ohio State fans saying stuff like, you know what? He's letting a low-level, like, staffer deal with Jack Sawyer. Like, bro, go and console your play. Get your players under control. It is a mutiny on the field because your squad, like Khalil Mulling said, doesn't know how to lose.
They don't.
And that was just like, and you know what? I get it. You got guys that are graduating right now, and they're going on to the NFL, or they're going on to wherever they're going, and they never beat Michigan. And it's interesting because fans always have to say, even though it's been this amount of time, years-wise, there was this year when y'all ducked. It's only been three wins. Now I'm glad that there was just a clean 4 straight wins in a row.
It's a presidential
No
term.
narratives, no counter stallions, no it was hardball, no it was your recruits, none of that. This was just they went in, they were not supposed to win, and they bopped you in the mouth when all the cards were in your favor. I mean, like, they didn't even have a quarterback, bro.
No. And honestly, and maybe people think I'm being too rough on the kid. I don't care. If I'm an NFL team, Jack Sawyer is off my board. That was soft bitch behavior. It was. And I'm not saying that Jack Sawyer was the biggest reason they lost today's game. I actually think Ohio State's defense played really, really well, all things considered, but they couldn't stop Michigan from scoring 30 last year, 45 the year before, and 42 before that. And I got to go back to something that me and Justin slightly disagreed about on Friday, because I think this is emblematic of the Ohio State culture and just top down. I was worried that Michigan would struggle running the football because I called Ohio State's front seven, quote, nasty. It's not nasty. You got players that are going to be drafted in the NFL like JTT and Jack Sawyer and Tyleik Williams and Cody Simon, but the mentality that they play with when it comes to a big game, what has been the problem with Michigan and Ohio State every single year? It's that Michigan won the battle up front. They out-physicaled teams. And you see it whenever Ohio State has to play in a big game, besides Penn State, of course, when it comes to a bowl game, when it comes to college football playoff, they always fall short. And I'm not saying it's always those players' fault, but showing more fight after the game than during the game, that's horseshit. It just is. And if I'm an Ohio State fan, I'm embarrassed. I'm not thinking that Jack Sawyer is defending the honor or anything. I'm like, hey, how about you get Khalil Mullings on the ground instead of let him bounce out and go 27 yards? That's what I'm thinking as an Ohio State fan. And shout out to most of them. They seem to share that sentiment as well. But it's just bitch behavior in the worst way. Go win the game, man.
Go win the game. And you know what, man? Oh, gosh. I know we're going to have You know what? Let's get to the next segment.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you during the break to see what we do before what's trending.
Yeah.
Just to see. Let's get to the next segment.
Can I hop in just real quick?
Definitely.
Absolutely,
Just,
you can.
Just to put a bow on this before we head to break once again, because I've been getting slack about a certain video that I put out there this past weekend when I called Ohio State classy after sitting down here, going here and fighting every single time. I'm not too sure what sportscaster said this, but he said, and excuse me if I'm misquoting him on this, but win with honor, lose with respect. This fight did not need to happen out there on the field. That's just plain and simple. And Flannel, I'll ask this question to you. Earlier this year, Michigan played Texas at the Big House, and I believe Texas planted their flag right in Michigan Center and blocked them. But what did Michigan do?
Went to their locker room.
Lost
with class.
Lost with class. Thank you. Once again, if you want to be mad at anyone, be mad at your head coach who's sitting on the sideline over here like a bitch, not inducting his players to sit here and move to the sideline, go to the locker room, and also getting a second-tier assistant coach to sit here and calm down Sawyer from acting like a fucking baby on the sideline. They're not going to plant our flag. They're not going to plant their flag on our field again. No, why don't you step up and sit here and coach your young student athlete and tell them, hey, look, we lost this game, accept it, go back to the locker room. There's no need for this fight to happen.
Well, and that's the one thing I have to point out too, because we've mentioned it, but I really think it deserves just a talking point on its own.
They're saying Oregon did it too.
Oregon did do it too, and Michigan just went back and accepted their loss with grace, because they knew that to the victor go the spoils. If you beat us on our home field, you can plant the flag. But I also have to point out how Ryan Day choked on the field, but he choked after the game as well. As you said, JB, some low-level staffer was the one trying to hold back Jack Sawyer. And Ryan Day, you've seen the pictures and you've seen the videos all over social media. He's just standing there with this dumb look on his face, and when somebody passes him, he's just like, what happened?
Yeah.
That's
like,
it.
What
That's not a
happened?
leader.
And then he told people he didn't
So
see
what
what happened.
happened?
That was the wild thing to say. I didn't see what happened. When the video clearly shows, bro, you're sitting right there in the middle of all of it. But it reminds me of that girl on that Judge show who she was suing somebody, and it's the famous meme where she's just looking down like, and that's exactly what this was to me. Like, bro, somebody bring out the cart, bring out the little RV thing, wheel this man to the blue tent, because there's something wrong with Ryan Day right now. Like, your team is going crazy, and that to me is where I started to wonder, is he thinking about job security? That's where my mind instantly went. How does he not? Everybody in the world after that game, from Shannon to you pick a show, was saying, yo, this dude got to go. Ohio State fans are saying, this guy has to go. And then, especially when you tee things up with that comment before the games, you know, talking about how this compares, like it's the worst thing ever, you know, comparable to the loss of a parent. That's where a lot of fans even started to say, you know what? Well, we hope this guy definitely wins this game. You know, so it's like after the game, I'm sure that there was a whole lot on his mind. The comments before the game, the record over the last 4 years, understanding that, you know what, your job security is probably on the line. He probably just crashed out at the worst time.
You just hate to see it. Obviously, I'm kidding. You love to see it. But when we get back, let's open up the phone lines, because I want everybody to get their opinion on Michigan, Ohio State. If you want to call in, if you want to just talk your shit, go right ahead, because it is a fantastic day.
So you've been tuned in, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Stick. Take a seat. Go ahead and take a seat, man.
But let's
let us know how you feeling, man.
Let's get to the watch party and post game first, and then we can come back to calls and Stick, of course.
Hey,
go get my coffee then.
So appropriate that Stick walked in, doing great things out there at Hayes Social, including the New Holland Brewing Company watch party and post-game show in Shelby Township. We get things kicked off, man, with the heavyweights, man, and other Woodward sports personalities. It's always a good time. Our guy Chase is always there as well as some Sorokas. So if you guys are out there, you're going to get this great environment, and we make sure that those instant reactions to all of the plays, good and bad, you get to be a part of those, and we want you guys there as well. And then right after the game, we get you the instant analysis with the post-game show brought to you by Stick and Anson. I'm telling you, everyone now, it seems like everyone is a victory show. Let's hope that continues after the game on the 5th against the Pack Show, man. But we want you guys to stay tapped in. All of this is live on Woodward Sports, Detroit's #1 sports network, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Talk to your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Soroki's, and Sabbath Coffee.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face.
Did you hear the owl?
Get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. So you got to trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Why? Because Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. I know the latest content we have is him breaking down the Malcolm Rodriguez injury as well as the prospects for his return. So you definitely want to check that out on the last Ermanni and Edwards as well as on socials right now. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Hey, 1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports, Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila. Proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste in tequila. Drink responsibly.
Hey, and we are back like we never left. It's Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the WUW Crew. It's a Victory Monday. We had a Victory Friday show after the Lions beat the Bears on Thanksgiving to end 7 straight losses on that day. And they won on a short week. Injuries, they overcame everything. And then Michigan, they followed that up by overcoming a lot of different odds to take down number 2 Ohio State and ruin their chances at a Big Ten championship this year. You just hate to see it, huh?
You just hate to see it. We got Freddie Felt on the line.
Oh, you know we do.
Let's go to him.
My dog. Freddie, you on
Freddie,
Wake Up
what up,
Woodward?
though?
What up, though?
What up, though?
Hey.
How's it going, fellas? How we feeling? How we feeling today?
Hey,
fantastic.
I'm feeling fired up, bro. Let's go, Freddie.
Hey, do you mind giving me a minute to cook?
Please cook.
A couple minutes to cook?
Go ahead.
All right. The world's famous Ohio State Buckeyes. Ha ha. Dude, I've been sitting here all season, and I've been keeping receipts, just like last season. I was told Ryan Day was a better coach than Sherrone Moore. So many people wrote this man off like 6 games into the season. Coach Moore beat both rivals and secured the #1 recruit in the country. So you can take that hot seat and shove it up your ass. How about that? First off. Oh, and also, before you dot the I in Ohio, dot these nuts. Dude, I was sleeping in turnover buffs all weekend. Seeing Ohio State fans completely broken and dejected like this, it's like Freddy Krueger in Nightmare on Elm Street when he gained the soul of his victim and it like swirled around and like went in his chest. He's like, oh, like that's how I feel. Seeing these defeated Buckeye fans who had this game as a dub all season and thought they were just going to come and just steamroll us. Not so fast there. I've had to listen to certain programming from 11 to 1, interject Michigan hate, even when it wasn't warranted. Hey, what's everybody eating for Thanksgiving? Oh, Michigan. It's like, it doesn't have anything to do with the subject
Tell me about
matter.
it, bro.
But it's not even warranted, but there's a particular tone anytime there's Michigan, because Michigan lives rent-free in the minds of the haters. And how fitting, because you don't pay rent if you own the house. And we own the toilet bowl. We own Ohio. That game was house money versus NIL money. $20 million plus for that product?
That's a bar. House money versus NIL.
10 points. Clearly, the game means more to Michigan. And Will Howard, I know Halloween's over with already. It's December. Will Howard is an Iowa quarterback cosplaying as an Ohio State quarterback.
No.
He lost to a walk-on who can't throw a forward pass. $20 million team. Caleb Downs was like, you know what? I want to lose to Michigan again this year. Let me go to Ohio State. Let me hit the transfer portal so I can lose to them twice. Dude, and here's the thing, too. People have higher standards, these moral standards for Michigan, than the Michigan haters have of themselves. This whole planting the flag was classless. JB brought it up already, the obvious. Not only did Texas plant the flag, Oregon did it too. We went into our locker rooms. We took our medicine. And that's the thing that doesn't sit with me today from people that are trying to steal the joy away from Michigan fans. You had all year to troll us. You had every day, Monday through Friday, certain programming, certain shows, certain talking head shows. You had all year to troll Michigan. But it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, because now we get to do the trolling. Now you have to take your medicine. There are no excuses for that loss in their house on Saturday. None. Our best player on offense and defense was out of that game. No one had Michigan winning that game. So spare me with that. Spare me with this moral high ground stuff. People taking mental gymnastics trying to pivot because they can't use the cheating line anymore. That's out the window now. Did she notice the cheating stuff from the last 4 years of beating Ohio State? I don't hear anything about cheating or signs. I didn't hear any of that already today. So now all the haters get to go crawl under your rock again. But don't worry, you can lift that rock a little bit so you can peek up under your rock after you crawl on it so you can check out QB1, Bryce Underwood, slinging that thing next year at Michigan. You pull the rock up, just peek out just a little bit so you can see when you go back under that rock. Michigan, I'm out. This is it. I'll put a bow on this. Michigan owns Ohio. And for all the haters, all the people that they're just gritting their teeth today, they can't take their medicine when Michigan had to take their medicine all year. The four letters are O-H-I-O. The four letters are C-O-P-E. So we are not Auburn. We are not Auburn. We are the reigning, defending national champions. We are the winningest program in college football. We are the leaders in best. We are the Michigan Wolverines. Go blue. I'm out.
Hey,
My dog.
Freddie Felt, legendary caller, man. I remember we were doing the post-game shows and watch parties somewhat out at Hamlin Pub, and Freddie would even make his way out there, man. Shout out to him. He is always an electric caller.
Yes, he is. We got another one.
Yeah, we do. We got Shane Daniel on the line. Shane, you on Wake Up Woodward, bro? What's up with you?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we hear.
What up, dog?
Fellas called in. As you guys probably already know, kid, I am an Ohio State fan. I'm not going to come up here and try to argue any points that were made. I will say, though, you guys have been right about the whole Ryan Day thing. Like, we're done with him.
Damn.
Wow.
Like, the whole state of Ohio is done with him. It's just, you can't keep getting into these big games and then losing it at the most important game, right? You lose the Michigan game. Any bowl game that has mattered, he's lost, right? Like, when's the last time they won it all? It was 2014 when they have been, like, when you're putting out players left and right like that, just, these wide receivers, you guys said earlier, like, why didn't they just keep throwing it to the NFL wide receivers you have everywhere? They just didn't do that. It was an ego thing more than anything else. And they just couldn't get it done. And I'm not going to sit up here and try to argue with you guys about what happened after the game because I think we all have our own personal opinion, especially coming from an Ohio State fan. But at the end of the day, you guys are right. Like, we're done with him. He should. The only reason they're keeping him around now is to, the playoff run. Let's just see what happens there. If they make a good playoff run, I still don't see him keeping him. But after that performance, does anybody really expect Ohio State to do much in the playoffs?
No.
No.
I don't.
No. And it's interesting to hear this perspective from Shane, because like we see certain things, on social media that would suggest this is the way that Ohio State fans are feeling, and I get it. When we were losing to Ohio State year after year after year, we weren't even really concerned as much with the final record as it was the fact that we kept losing to our rival, and we were talking about how some of the culture within the program on the Rich Rod and some of the things that you care about, some of the things people would joke about, Michigan, man, and your traditions, those things got eroded, and we saw exactly how that worked out for Michigan. They weren't able to really reach their level of expectation, and it's crazy to see Ohio State with these types of recruiting classes not able to get it done this year.
Not able to get it done with Ryan Day as the head coach. I think the biggest indictment I have with Ryan Day, speaking to Ohio State fans, is I truly believe, and I hate to play this game because what happened. If Urban Meyer coaches that team yesterday, Ohio State wins.
Yeah.
I think they probably win by double digits, because Urban Meyer, those teams were not soft at all.
Not at all. They
Not
were
at
well
all.
coached.
He's one of the best to ever do it. And Ryan Day, like I said, the strength of these teams is that the quarterback play and the wide receiver play, and they just went away from it way too often and tried to be fake tough guys. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm sure as an Ohio State fan, you're just beside yourself. It sounds like you are. And I respect you, though. I respect this. We can shake hands, because I don't want to hear excuses or anything like that, and you're not giving me that. You're giving me the Ryan Day isn't good enough and hasn't been good enough, and this isn't good enough. And we would say the exact same thing if the shoe was on the other foot. So a shout out to you, Shane.
I appreciate that, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a big Ohio State fan, but I'm a huge Lions fan. And, let's keep rolling with the Lions. Let's keep that going.
Of course.
Shane, you got me fired up, bro. Let's go.
There we go, guys.
Let's
Have a good
go.
one.
That's a
Hey,
call,
appreciate it,
man.
Shane.
Shane, hey, call in anytime, man. You guys are always welcome, chat family. Even if it is to disagree, call in. Definitely call in, man. Those are a couple really, really good calls. Do we have anybody else?
No, but we do have Stick in the chair.
We do have
Stick
Stick
is in the house.
here. What up, though, Stick?
Hello.
Hello.
I don't even know where to begin, man. There's just so much to unpack from this weekend. So much. From Gus Johnson to the play calling, the interceptions in the red zone, Michigan, Orchard Lake St. Mary's winning its 9th state championship.
Hey,
you got to hit that. The Lions, Eberflus being fired.
Yep.
It was just a damn good sports weekend all the way around here in the Metro Detroit area.
Yes, it was.
Man, not for all, but for most.
Not for all, yeah. I don't even want to belabor it, because our poor Sparty fan over there, JB Smooth.
Yeah, the Spartans had a rough weekend. Like, I don't know who took the Ohio State loss worse. Ohio State fans or Spartans, but my God, the Spartans on Twitter were going absolutely insane. Like, it was like, seriously, like somebody stole their baby. The Spartans took this loss harder than I think anybody in Columbus. I saw just chaos on Twitter.
Stick, have you checked on Anson at all?
Okay. So I was filling in for Ermanni and Edwards, and we were talking. I was like, "Listen, guys, it's a rivalry game. Give me the money line. I don't even want the points. I'll take Michigan. You can go back, check tape. I said it. Maybe I said it ironically, but guess what? Guess what? When I say things, they happen. Right?
To this point,
pissing you off, isn't it, KG?
We got to make a banner for Stick on this show, bro. Jaden Ivey is on there, right?
Yep.
Jared Goff is definitely on there.
Yep.
Michigan beating Ohio State this season has to be on there too.
Yep. Man. But either way, like, I text Anson my quote. I said, forget the money line, just give me Michigan. Or forget the spread, just give me Michigan money line. He responds, you must have texted the wrong person. And I'm like, no, you were on the show. Just validate what I said.
Right,
just validate what I said. But I mean, you could tell Ohio State was going to lose that game in the first half.
Yeah.
I tweeted something out in the first half when they were running up and down the sidelines trying to pump each other up and play that fake tough guy role. Like, I've seen that dude in a bar fight, right? The guy that's like really loud, really demonstrative. I'm trying to intimidate everybody, blah, 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 but I don't intimidate anybody. And that's exactly what happened. And that Sawyer kid. My God. Poetic justice on bitch-ass behavior. You see the because I didn't follow it until I saw it all on social media, right? You see it pregame. Michigan walking on the field. Who's there? Number 33. Running his mouth, flexing. You see it during the game. He gets an interception. Good for him. But then he misses the biggest tackle of the season. And he was the guy who had him in the backfield. You could have stopped this all from happening, son, but you didn't. And then after the game, did you see him grabbing that dude? Yeah, they're doing it again. Again. It was like some dude who stayed with his wife who cheated on him is like, I can't believe she did it for the second time.
It's like he's just sitting there looking like,
Ryan Day's dumbass just looking around like, oh man, that must suck for him. Like, and then he tries to grab the flag, he rips it down.
From
Jason Avant is on the field taking like just poetry in motion. And I'm not a Michigan guy. Like, I'm not, but I hate Ohio State with the fury of 10,000 men.
So you're a Michigander.
I root for anytime anybody. I just hate Ohio State, period, because I've told that story. I was assaulted at an Ohio State-Michigan game when I was 16 by a 40, 50-year-old man wearing Ohio State gear. So I have no respect for that fan base. I have no respect for that institution. Ryan Day has single-handedly ruined the Day last name nationally. That's my last name. And I got to walk around like this clown's related to me? Do you know what that's like? Do any of you know what it's like to be associated with Ryan Day on that level?
I don't.
Nope.
It's awful, guys.
Riley Green, so I wouldn't.
I've thought about changing my family name because this man is the softest human I have ever seen coach a football team. And that's why his teams show up soft every single time.
I will say this, Stick. After the NFC Championship game, having the last name of Reynolds was kind of rough. But
yeah. But at least people could tell you're not black.
That's fair. That's fair.
Right?
Yeah. So
I walk in, Ryan Day could be my uncle.
That's fair. That's
right?
fair.
So, like, I got nothing. Like, they look at my ID and they're like, oh, man, I'm sorry. Your uncle? And I'm like, no, he's not my uncle.
Right. I don't know this.
We own crappy hotel chains. What do you, days in? Like, I'd rather put my name towards that.
I love that. Real quick, I got to ask you about some aspect of this news. And I know the show is just zoomed by, but Jamal Adams to the Lions.
Beast.
All right.
Just quickly, because I know when the news broke, a lot of people were like, why are we getting a safety? And just hanging around you ball nowhere is long enough. And understanding the type of player that Jamal Adams was, I was like, I think he's going to be able to be all over the field. So I wanted you guys to be able to put it on wax. Jamal Adams to the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, and for the record, we'll do like a full topic on this and other acquisitions like Quan Alexander tomorrow. But just quickly, he was once great. He was once one of the best up-and-coming safeties in the NFL. He's certainly fallen off. He's had some injuries. But with Jamal Adams, they're not looking for him to be a ball hawk in the vein of like Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch. He had 9.5 sacks in 2020. He could be used as a blitzer. He could be used as a more of like a hybrid linebacker type. So he could have some value, certainly with how the Lions linebacking core keeps dropping like flies. So on surface, it doesn't make the most sense, but when you look deeper into it, it makes more sense.
Yeah. What about you, KG?
Nothing. He hit the nail on the head. I think it makes perfect sense when you consider how many bodies have dropped on defense. And this is somebody that you can use in a multitude of ways. He was great at blitzing at one point in his career. Of course, he's not the same player. You know, his time with the Seahawks, he battled injury. And he was just really a shell of himself, man. But outside of that, he has been a great safety in this league. I think, you know, his veteran leadership, he can teach Kirby and Brian Branch a lot. Working with this defense. And he wants to come in. He's hungry. He's ready to win, man. He has a chance at possibly getting a ring with this team. So I expect him to come in here and like Dan Campbell said, whoever can help us right now is going to see the field. Flat out. So I think it's a great move, man. Great move for a veteran.
Yeah, and you got to kick the tires right now because we talked about the one thing that could slow the Lions down in this year was not going to be the coaches. It was not going to be what the players could do on the field. It would be injuries. That would be the only thing that would slow them. To this point, they have found a way to masterfully, at an elite level, overcome that. But now the thick of the schedule is here. They got a couple teams that they are competing with, both the Packers here as it relates to the NFC North and NFC supremacy. The Bills after that as it relates to NFL supremacy, because that might be a team maybe, that you meet up with later down the road. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. I don't know how quickly they can get these guys up to game speed. But one thing that definitely encourages me from a defensive standpoint is Aaron Glenn has absolutely put on a master class, an absolute master class this year, not just with the schemes and having his players in the right position, but being able to adjust everything you're prepared for to start the season. This squad has had to adjust those schemes, and all of these players have stepped up aptly. And so definitely I want to tip the cap again to Aaron Glenn. And however these new additions pan out, I do know that Aaron Glenn is going to be someone that has this team in a really good position to win.
Jamal Adams' resurgence loading. I'll just say it right
only
now.
29. You never know.
He's only 29. But before we get to what's trending, let's take one more break. We don't have any reads, do we?
10% off the store.
Yeah.
Cyber Monday deal. Go get it. Go get it.
Monday deal still going on.
JB, I got to get some of your designs up. JB's been designing clothes. Ooh, by the way.
Stop it.
You want that civilian 16 that was designed by Mr. JB?
I didn't know
up
that.
on the store right now.
Boy, Jay Bizzle.
All right. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations with the Feldman dealership in your backyard, visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
This holiday season, recharge with the Planet Fitness Black Card for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. So instead of fighting a stranger over a T-Rex, bring a friend for free and work out on the TRX. Instead of freezing in line for a deal, relax with some hydro massage feels. Instead of in-laws in your face,
Did you hear the owl?
get some space at any of our 2,600 locations with the PF Black Card. Just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Deal ends Friday, December 6th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Hey, we are back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's time for our mailbag segment presented by Feldman Automotive Group. Hey, you know what? It's been so dope to have this victory show and some of the beats. Hey, yeah, run that one back up, KG. I like that one. Some of the beats, it's like Kool-Aid tracks, man. That's where I'm at, DJ. Play my stuff, bro. It's Victory Monday.
I got you.
We get to celebrate it to Kool-Aid tracks, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, you guys, get those Feldman questions in. You can write it down whenever. I love the beat, man. We're going to have to get KG rapping on some of these tracks, man.
I'm down.
But get college football prediction right now, they've got Michigan in the Music City Bowl against LSU. How you guys feel about that?
I love that, especially with the Bryce Underwood undertone.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Let's put the final nail in Brian Kelly.
I love it.
Let's put the final nail in that family over there in Louisiana.
Speaking of fire, Brian, if I'm LSU, I'm thinking about it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
4 losses, can't have it.
Lost the #1 recruit in the nation.
Lost the #1 recruit in the nation. Nice win over Oklahoma, but still. Yeah.
Yep. it was cool too to see Bryce Underwood posting about Michigan's big victory over Ohio State as well. You know, it's cool to see. Like, and it's not like it's forced or contrived. It's crazy to think that this guy who was a Michigan fan from birth, you know, his family goes back, you know, generations as well, Michigan fans, did pick LSU. And whatever aspects of what made him come back to Michigan, I'm not gonna gatekeep that. I'm glad that he's here.
Oh, yes, I am.
Hey, Ed O'Neill, Feldman Mailbag. Did you guys know that if the Lions lose to Green Bay, they wouldn't have the necessary tiebreakers to get the #1 seed over the Eagles?
Wow, what a game. Nobody's doing the Lions any favors this year. Hell, they might just have to go out and go 16-1 to get the 1 seed. It's unfortunate, but hey, they're capable.
Hey, you know what? Just a special shout out. Motor City Street Scene, Chuck Brewer, Mike G, some of the guys in the chat. Shout out to you guys, man. Everybody else that's made this morning a dope morning, man. Let's see here. Where's the next one at? Dante 151, Feldman Mailbag, Flannel Sam. Will you get a Baker Mayfield jersey if Buccaneers make the playoffs, since the Falcons and Kirk Cousins are a bunch of fakes?
Not my best prediction, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I still think the Falcons will win the division, but I certainly expected more than 6-6, and I certainly didn't expect Kirk Cousins to go full on Desmond Ridder, but much worse yesterday. He blew that game himself.
Yeah, he blew that game himself.
He did, yeah.
Hey, Mike G. Oh my goodness, I'm not reading.
Yeah, you already know Mike G.
I knew he was gonna get me, dog.
Shout
You
out
almost
Mike
got
G,
me,
dog.
Mike. But no, this is my Feldman question. I'll again, as we get a little closer to our Lions show tomorrow. Mistaken.
A lot of TLB in the chat today.
It's all Lions tomorrow. Is
Yes,
that safe
it's
to
gotta
assume?
be, yes.
There was a lot of TLB today.
Oh yeah, definitely. And hopefully the Pistons take care of business tomorrow night, so that Woodward Pistons show can be talking about the fact that they're going on to Vegas.
Yeah, big facts.
But there's some narratives
Undefeated in the NBA Cup so far, man. Love to see it.
Hey, but you know what? Hey, this is my question to you guys.
Yeah.
And we posted this on Woodward socials as well, and I know we're probably going to expand as we go. How concerned are you? It was different looking at the injury list. Just all of the names that are gone for the season. And then still understanding they've been able to overcome. But are you concerned that they're now at the end of that line? That they can still overcome to the tunes of elite production?
Honestly, I hate to give the cop-out answer, but until they lose, I just still believe that they'll be able to continue to next man up it. They've proven me so wrong so far with how they were able to even just withstand Aiden Hutchinson that I'm not going to bet against them no matter what. And they have made some what seems to be strategic signings. You saw David Long play in the Bears game.
Yeah,
you're going to
and
see
make impact,
yeah, you're going to see Quan Alexander. You're going to see Jamal Adams probably as well. So until the Lions lose, I'm going to continue to just say that they're gonna get the 1 seed and they're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the low hanging fruit too. They have to. I mean, it's just you at that point in the season. Nobody's gonna apologize that you got all these injuries on the IR. You know, you got to just go out there and you got to make do with what you have. But to the Lions coaching staff's credit, they've been able to coach up the depth on this team, and they have stepped in and played their roles beautifully, man. So you get some veteran signings in here. Hopefully you can get them acclimated and up to speed pretty fast. Like he said, you saw it with David Long. He was able to play in the very next game after being signed, and he was able to make an impact, man. You just hope that you continue to get people in this building that will contribute to winning. But at this point, you got to do what you got to do, bro. You got to keep the train rolling. So,
and I give the Lions 100% of credit for this. Their coaching staff, as KG said, developing this talent more and more on the field as more and more bodies seem to start dropping game after game. Like, the production has slowed down just a little bit, but not fully completely to where we're losing games at all. So the whole faith goes into this coaching staff as well. Jamal Adams, a nice addition as well. Dan Campbell was joking about it as well. Like, hell, we might play him out there as defensive end at edge, or, you know, he might be linebacker, you know. So I think he's happy with the addition as well, too. And I definitely think he will be activated to that main roster soon. So he's a vet. He knows his place in this league as well, too. So hell, we could see him on Thursday, if anything.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at with the Detroit Lions, too. It's one of those things where it's like, you know what? They've been there and they've done that already. We saw this team last year with a depleted defense go out there and scheme up one of the best defenses in the league. You know, well, not one of the best ones, but for what they had available to them, one of the better defenses. And that's what I expect them to do. We said it last year. We knew that every team playing them was going to get 20 points plus or minus 3. And that literally played itself out more than not last year. And so I do expect this Detroit Lions defense from a coaching perspective to be in the right positions and to see some of these players improve in season and step up. We saw Kendall Vilder one game not look so hot. The next game look a lot better in his role. I expect as you're getting down into this next man up, into your third and fourth strings, that these coaches will continue to scheme and scheme and scheme to the point that they're giving their players an advantage over their opponents.
Hey, we've seen them continue to right the ship. So I'm not going to count against them.
Yeah.
Chest pass?
Yes.
Oh. I think that is a show.
Think so too.
Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. Holding things down in Woodward, the man with the legend Terry Foster's great content, great coverage of the Lions, and I'm happy to see his coverage of the Lions continue here on the network because he's quite honestly one of the best to do this thing.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? Shout out to that dude Justin as well. I know Justin wants to be here, but he is handling business at Western, handling it, school and everything. It was good to have you here last week, and I think on the 13th we have him here for a couple weeks as well. Hey, shout out to Cavassier Chase. I know things got a little off kilter earlier in the show, but shout out to Cavassier Chase, the hard work that he does here as well. People, everything is going to be just all right, man. Hey, we got Chris in the building from Sales as well, and we'll break this thing down. The Elite Booth. Shout out to KG in the sound booth, Detroit's #1 draft pick, aka Black Hollywood.
Hey, what up,
What
man?
up, though, brother?
I've just realized we got some bipolar people in this chat, bro. We really do.
bipolar people.
But we still love all of y'all, man. Shout out to my team, man. Chase too, like we all family at the end of the day, man. And you know, we just gonna come in here and we gonna try and do better tomorrow, man. That's all we can do. But shout out to everybody that tuned in, tapped in. We appreciate y'all supporting the show continually, man. And let's keep this shit rolling, bro.
Let's keep it rolling. Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. That is JB Smooth, and he made some people some money this weekend.
Definitely made some people some money this weekend. Definitely a fiery Monday here in the studio as well too. We love everybody in the chat, especially in this studio as well too. Shout out to Chase once again. Hey, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, but Michigan was right this weekend.
Hey, let's rock. Hey, the Veteran Squad, Veteran Network. Hey, the more things have changed, the more Fun Sam has been just that common denominator, just the same. Shout out to you on this Gold Blue Day, Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, and lover of Michigan football.
It's been a great day, and unfortunately it wasn't a great weekend for the Wings, but we might get into that more later. But tomorrow, for all of you who wanted more Lions today, that is for tomorrow. Wall-to-wall Detroit Lions, because even though they didn't play, they made some headlines as well. But how could we not talk about the biggest upset in the history of the whole damn rivalry?
Hey, that was the biggest spread, man.
Yeah.
What a upset. What an upset from these Michigan Wolverines. It's going to be interesting to see where they go from here, see how they perform in whatever bowl game they get, and then what they do during the offseason.
Things. I think they're going to do some things.
I hear that they're supposed to be spending some money, too.
Yes.
That'd be interesting to see in this NIL, but I think that is a show. It's been Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the WUW Crew. Make sure you stay tapped in with the rest of Woodward Sports. Big D Energy is on the way. Then you got Ermanni Edwards with Maz, and you end the day with the big fellas, the heavyweights. But go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't gotten an opportunity to. As KG said, every single day it's about how we improve, and that's how we move.
Yeah.
Bars barking?
Confirmed.
Hey, confirmed. Hey, shout out to you guys. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Have a blessed one. Go Blue.
Ha ha ha!